the range of criminal conduct is really, I think, again, unmatched in any type of scenario that we've seen, the FBI or the DOJ. We're looking at everything from simple trespass to theft of mail, to theft of digital devices inside the Capitol, to assault on local officers, federal officers both outside and inside the Capitol, to the theft of potential national security information or national defense information, to felony murder, and even civil rights excessive force investigations.
Well, 6 days after the attack on the Capitol, we all saw on live television, federal prosecutors held a news conference today announcing, among other things, that they're considering sedition charges against at least some of the rioters.
They say some of the original misdemeanor charges brought against the people who sieged the Capitol were intended as placeholder counts, and that more serious charges are coming. And joining us now, security expert Michael Haggard. He is also an attorney with the Haggard Law Firm. Michael, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Now, Wednesday's event was a significant attack on U.S. democracy. So does it surprise you, though, that it took so long for the DOJ and the FBI to actually give a briefing? And what did you make of what they had to say?
Well, it absolutely does. And it's telling that you don't have the head of the FBI there. They were obviously unprepared despite all the warnings that had occurred in the weeks prior to it. So it's great that they're investigating folks now, but what are we doing leading up to next week's events and beyond?
What did you think of some of the possible charges? It sounded pretty serious that they're talking about felony murder. Do you think that that's realistic, that they can make a case for felony murder?
Well, it's obviously very interesting. When you talk about killing a police officer and the group that was right around that police officer when the attack occurred, I think it's very possible. I think, now charging folks that maybe were on a different hallway that did not know that was going on might be a little more difficult. But felony murder, we typically see if the getaway car, they were just going to rob a 7-Eleven, but they killed someone, that's felony murder. So I think it's appropriate too. I mean, this is obviously shocks the entire population right now, and deterrence is very important with these charges to stop anything like this from ever happening again.
You mentioned there was warning about what happened last week at the Capitol, and still they seemed unprepared. Now every single state is on high alert. The FBI warning of armed protests at all state capitals. So what precautions should our state officials be taking right now?
Well, it's very scary when you heard what Representative Perez says, not taking it seriously. I mean, when you talk about sizes of crowds like that, there's not much you can do but have a military response, have a huge police presence. It's not just the public sector. I mean, you can imagine all the companies that have now gotten involved and stopped their fundraising efforts. This cult, which is really what they are, is going to start targeting private enterprises. It's very important that private companies start realizing this fight is next coming to them, and they need to be prepared security-wise.
Well, let me ask you, as a security expert, what went through your mind when you saw video of this crowd going in and overtaking the Capitol Police, who are charged with guarding the throne of our democracy, the U.S. Capitol, and going in? What were you thinking? Were you thinking that this was some kind of setup? Were you thinking that the police were just unprepared for this, or were they standing down?
Well, I think no matter what, they were unprepared. I mean, when you look at those videos, the videos that have surfaced in the last couple of days of them beating the police officers at the front of the Capitol, I mean, you're talking about thousands of people. And they took over the barriers, they took over the windows. It was really amazing. But they knew through internet chat work, they knew through a number of different vehicles that this was going to happen, that there was going to be a huge presence at the Capitol. So why there wasn't a coordinated response with the National Guard ahead of time, with the FBI ahead of time, and leaving it up to Capitol Police is really the definition of negligent security.
And Michael, a number of businesses now walking away, trying to distance themselves from President Trump and the larger Republican Party. So what does that mean for their security moving forward?
Well, that is a big issue. I mean, when you have Amazon taking the stand that they've done, or PGA, or all Marriott now, you're talking about hotel chains that on the internet chatter, they're going to look for softer targets. You know, you heard Governor DeSantis, maybe the Tallahassee Capitol isn't a soft target, but a local Marriott may be. When there's an Amazon in a shopping mall, maybe that's where they want to go. This group is looking for people that they don't like. They turned on Mike Pence in one day. So they now will look to private enterprises to not just protest, but to attack, to teach a lesson to. And it's domestic terrorism, but the private sector has to be ready because they are next.
Well, that's why so many people feel that there must be consequences for what they did last week. Michael Haggard, we're out of time, but thank you very much for joining us with your insight. Michael Haggard with the Haggard Law Firm.
Thank you all.